Hola, Kaidan.
Commander, do you have a minute?
¿Por qué lo dices?
What's on your mind, Lieutenant?
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here. This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
No te preocupes por eso.
We'll get things done. I'd rather operate independently than have the brass on our backs anyway.
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
Es una visión pasada de moda.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or for justice. Or maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
¿Y para qué te entrenaron?
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element zero in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Malditas corporaciones.
I heard all about that. How companies would arrange accidents to expose people to element zero.
There was never any proof of that. It's not what happened in my case, anyway. My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Salto cero.
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
Amigos.
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
Pues pasarías a la acción, entre
We're all
comillas.
teenagers. I'm sure you found other ways to occupy the time.
I'm not the sort who does that kind of thing, Commander. Not lightly, anyway. There was a girl I spent a lot of time with. We kept our clothes on. Rana.
Rana. Qué
She
nombre.
was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful.
Más guapa que
Not
yo.
stuck up about it. Like you, I guess.
¿Y te enamoraste de ella?
Sounds
Es
like
una pregunta
she was special.
importante esta.
She was. Maybe she felt the same. But things never felt together. Training, you know.
¿Exposiciones deliberadas?
You know of any intentional exposures for certain?
No one knows. Doesn't mean they didn't happen. As big as the exposures were, it was hard to track down accidentals. It was different then. No one knew the potential, so there wasn't a lot of regulation. Anything Kinetics did was gold. I'm not saying they intentionally detonated drives over our outposts, but in retrospect, they were damn quick on the scene.
Suena duro, continúe.
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
Debo conocer a la tripulación.
We have to depend on each other in combat. I like knowing what kind of man I have at my back.
I understand, ma'am. I won't let you down.
Bien.
You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
No, solo contigo.
I didn't say I did this for the whole crew. We should talk again.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander.
Sí, procesalo bien.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Sí. Hola otra vez, Bacarian.
Good to see you.
Preguntas personales.
You've been with CSEC a while. Have you seen much action?
Well, not as much as you, but yeah, I've seen some interesting things.
¿Algo en concreto?
I bet you have. Anything in particular that stands out?
I remember this Solarian geneticist I was sent to investigate. That case was a bit disturbing.
¿Inquietante?
What happened? Why were you investigating him?
I was tasked with tracking black market trade on the Citadel. Most of it harmless, nothing I needed to pursue. But during the course of my investigation, I noticed an increase in the trade of body parts, organs mostly. We usually get a few of those, but not the numbers I was seeing. We weren't sure if there was a new black market lab or if some freak was harvesting organs from citizens.
¿Eso es normal?
You've seen this before on the Citadel?
Every so often, some lab sells unwanted parts through the black market, but they're not as bad as the psychos. I remember this one L-Corps diplomat we caught in my first year on the job. He was hacking people up and selling their organs, had the station in a bit of a panic. But this case wasn't that clear-cut. Turns out there was more going on than we first realized.
¿Y qué averiguaste?
So how did you figure out what was happening?
First, we got a hold of a sample and ran DNA tests. The weird thing was, the match led us to a Turian who was still alive and was very convinced he'd never lost his liver. After a bit of digging, I discovered this Turian worked briefly for Dr. Salion, the geneticist. So I went to his lab hoping to find evidence of cloned organ development, but there was nothing. No Solarian hearts, no Turian livers, not one Krogan testicle.
¿Testículos, Krogan?
You're kidding, right? Why would anyone want Krogan testicles?
Some Krogan believe that testicle transplants can increase their virility, counteract the effects of the genophage. It doesn't work, but that doesn't stop them from buying. They'll pay up to 10,000 credits each. That's 40,000 for a full set. Somebody's making a killing out there.
¿Y qué pasó con el doctor?
What'd you do about the geneticist?
I brought in some of his employees for interrogation to see if I could get them to talk. While I was interviewing one of them, I came across something suspicious.
¡Qué listo!
Good thinking. Lackeys are always easier to scare.
Exactly. Though in this case it paid off in a different way. One of my detainees started bleeding profusely during the interview. We offered to patch him up and he got frantic, freaked out. I ordered a full exam to find out what was going on. Our medics found incisions all over his body, some of them fresh. That was our big break. These people weren't just Dr. Salion's employees. They were test tubes. Walking, living test tubes.
Interesante.
So he was growing spare parts in his own employees.
Exactly. He cloned their organs right inside their own bodies. Then he harvested them and sold them off. Most of the victims were poor. He'd pay them each a small percentage of the sales, but only if the organs were good. Sometimes an organ wouldn't grow properly, so he'd just leave it in them. Most of them were a mess, but only on the inside, hidden so nobody could see it.
¿Lo entrevistaste?
I hope he got what he deserved.
That's the worst part. We never caught him.
¿Qué me dices?
Why not? What the hell happened?
He ran, blew his lab, grabbed some of his employees, and headed for the nearest space dock. By the time I found out, his ship was already leaving. He threatened to kill his hostages if we tried to stop him.
¿Y dejaste que se escapara?
But you went after him anyway, right?
I ordered Citadel Defense to shoot him down, but CSEC headquarters countermanded my order. They were worried about the hostages, worried about civilian casualties if the ship was destroyed so close to the Citadel. I told them those hostages were dead anyway. He just used them to make more organs, but they wouldn't listen.
Idiotes.
No wonder you hated it there. Those idiots just let him fly away.
Yes, they did. I went to Palin and told him what I thought of him and his policies. He said if I didn't like it, I could quit. Well, I almost did. All they had to do was disable that ship, stop him from running. Maybe the hostages die, maybe they don't, but at least we stopped the bastard responsible for it all.
Tienes razón.
A few casualties is a small price to pay to stop someone like that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, those hostages might be wishing they died by now anyway. Just wish I could have stopped him. That's all.
El Dr. Salión.
Do you have any idea what happened to Dr. Salian?
I sent out feelers from time to time, hoping to find something. I thought I'd found him a while back. He changed ships and changed his name to Dr. Hart, his idea of a joke, I guess. I told the military, but they weren't convinced it was him. I got the transponder frequency for his new ship, but I just can't get anyone to check it out.
De esto me encargo yo.
I'll check out the coordinates when I get a chance.
I was hoping you'd say that, but Commander, take me with you when you go. If it's Salion, I want to be there when you find him.
Sí, señor. Hola, Rex.
Shepard,
Preguntas personales.
So you'd rather be a merc than help your people?
I'm a fighter. It's what I do.
¿Y?
Aren't you at all worried about what will happen to the Krogan?
What the hell do you want me to do about it, Shepard? I'm tired of sticking my ass on the line and getting nothing for it.
No te culpes.
So you decided to go your own way?
I decided killing for credits was better than killing for a lost cause. I'm no hero, Shepard. Bottom line, killing for credits simplifies things.
Eres muy listo.
Exactly. That's why I hired you.
And that's why I joined, so I wouldn't have to deal with them. There's
Ellos.
a lot of Krogan mercs out there. I'm always running into them. Half the time I'm being paid to kill them. But that's just part of the job.
Ah, sí, matamos a
You
uno
don't get to pick
recientemente.
who your enemies are.
Mercenario.
How long have you been a merc?
Long enough. I took my first contract right after I left my home system. It's good work if it doesn't kill you.
¿Entonces te gusta?
I get the feeling you enjoy your work.
Sure. You get to see the galaxy on someone else's credits, and most days end with a good fight. I've tried more organized fighting, private armies and such, but it gets too messy. I fight best on my own, or in very small groups. I don't like people relying on me, and I bloody well don't like relying on them.
Ya
So
veo.
long, Rex.
Shepard.
Pium, 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 pium. Hola,
Commander?
Ashley. ¿Qué tal nos va?
What's your opinion of the last mission?
Not sure I buy Dr. Tassoni's story about her and her mom not talking. They're family, right?
La vigilaremos.
I'm not sure.
Muy
I
de
believe
cerca.
either. It's better to have her where we can see her.
That makes sense. Too bad those ruins got destroyed. I mean, they lasted thousands of years. That's impressive.
¿Podemos hablar?
Do you have a few minutes to talk? One-on-one?
Sure. I was just watching some mail from home.
Oh, before I go, we saw Caden in a news vid about the Normandy. He's cute. Later, sis.
Yo lo vi primero, perra.
Let's pretend this never happened.
Kaidani.
Are you interested in the lieutenant, Chief?
No, ma'am. And anyway, Scuttlebutt says he's already sweet on someone.
¿Mm?
What's up? You didn't come by to eavesdrop on family mail.
No lo pretendía.
Your family seems to be important to you.
Yeah, we've always been close. Me and my sisters especially. With Dad on duty so much, I had to help Mom raise them.
¿Tu padre?
Did your father serve with the fleet?
Yeah, took any crap posting he could get that offered space time. You know what? He worked his ass off trying to get recognized, but he never made it above serviceman 3rd class. He was real proud when I met Chief. First thing he did was salute.
¿Tu madre?
What about your mother? You haven't mentioned her.
You must know what military wives are like. Strong because they have to be, able to raise kids while Dad's away on a 6-month cruise. She has a degree in planetary geology. She and Dad both wanted to see new worlds. She gave up her career to raise us, though.
¿Tus hermanas?
You have more than one sister? Sounds like a big family.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, then Abby, then Lynn. Sarah's the youngest. She's still in high school. With 4 girls, Dad used to say he felt more outnumbered at home than on maneuvers.
¿Tu casa?
Where did you grow up?
All over. We transferred a half a dozen times before I finished grade school. You go where personnel command sends you, right? I guess that's why I'm so tight with my sisters. We'd have to leave all our friends every 2 or 3 years.
¡Qué encantador!
Next, you'll tell me you all ran across green fields singing show tunes.
Don't knock show tunes. I might have to take exception. Things were tense between Sarah and me for a while. Then we bonded.
Cuéntame más.
Sounds like a story. Feel like sharing?
Sarah got herself a boyfriend who wanted to go faster than she did, Mike.
Mike el mágico.
I didn't think he was a bad kid, just pushy. Lynn would send me these worried vid mails, and I'd tell her to relax.
Vid mails.
Where were you when this was going on?
I was on active duty. Sarah's graduating high school this year. This was only a couple of years back. They were on Amaterasu. At the time, I was assigned to Chernobog. Same cluster, but a dozen Hellwire away. Close enough to talk regularly, too far to make it back in an emergency. I couldn't afford a fast packet flight.
Los chicos no se controlan.
You ask me, boys need a cold shower that lasts from age 12 to 25.
They have their uses, ma'am. Not all of them keep their brains in their pants. Mike thought they'd go for a romantic walk in the woods, because he figured it was past time they did the deed.
Era ese momento.
She levered Mike face first into a tree and left. Didn't have a scratch on her. Good thing Mom and Dad had us all learn
Ahora le dicen cara de árbol.
I took emergency leave and walked Sarah to school for a few days.
La policía.
Why didn't you tell the police?
She said it wouldn't solve the real problem, and she and Mike would both become household names. It was a small colony. I said it was her call to make, that we should let her do it her way. Mom was pretty pissed about that.
Defensa personal.
You said all of your sisters learned self-defense?
Lynn did pistol practice, but didn't like it. She's kind of nervous. Sarah took Aikido. Abby decided to learn the sword. She always was a little weird. Likes big skirts and tops you have to tie her into. They do great things to her figure, though.
¿Y tú?
So, what did you learn?
One of Dad's friends taught me Marine hand to hand.
No le debió de gustar.
Sarah couldn't have been fond of you escorting her.
Embarrassed the hell out of her. But it was worth it in the end. My last day out, Mike was waiting for us. Sarah had told her friends, so everyone at school knew what he did. He wasn't happy. I wanted to snap him in half, but Sarah gave me this look, this let me handle it, I need to do this alone look. She kept her cool, God bless her, as he screamed in her face. She just let him vent. Then he tried to punch her. I swear, she just flowed around him. Next thing I knew, he's face down on the sidewalk, and there's blood everywhere.
¿Le dio una buena paliza?
She cracked him in the face. Good.
When he swung, she wasn't there anymore, and he fell. She helped him stop the bleeding and had me call an ambulance. She told the paramedics he fell. Before they took him to the hospital, Mike touched Sarah's arm. I thought he was gonna end up on the ground again. But he hung his head, whispered, "I'm sorry," and started crying. She hugged him.
Qué
The
sensible.
Williams women are a decisive bunch, Commander. We do things when we're ready. Not before, not after.
No tiene sentido.
You were right about one thing. That wasn't interesting. And where was your father during all this?
Dad always wanted to serve in space, but he wanted us to have real ground under our feet. He'd say, space is beautiful, but you can't raise a family there. I cannot rest from travel. I will drink life to the lees. All times I've enjoyed greatly, have suffered greatly, both with those that loved me and alone. For always roaming with a hungry heart, much have I seen and known, cities of men and manners, climates, councils, governments.
¿Qué es esa mierda?
Poetry. You gonna bore the enemy to death, Marine?
Dad will work on Geth, but I'll give it a shot. Just like to remember why we fight. Ulysses was my dad's favorite poem. Every time he shipped out, he recorded me reading it. He had a dozen versions when he retired.
Suena aburrido.
He must have been a very boring man.
He also brewed his own beer and played a mean baritone sax. Dad passed on a few years back. He's probably still watching, though.
Sí, claro.
He's not a zombie, is he?
You know, from heaven, wherever that is. That's not a problem with you, is it? That I believe in God?
Eres una fanática religiosa.
That depends on whether you have
Y te
a
vas a
problem with
volver
people who
loca.
don't believe in God.
Commander, I'm not some kind of zealot. I believe in God. What everyone else believes is their business.
Sos unitóloga.
I should get back to my duties. Didn't mean to take up so much of your time.
Bueno, adiós.
Dismissed, Chief.
Qué tipa.
Ma'am.
Que subí de nivel por hablar. El pequeño y lejano Alsages es un mundo terrestre con una atmósfera residual de metano y argón. La superficie está compuesta de agua helada y calcio con alguno que otro depósito de metales ligeros. Durante la campaña de la Alianza para eliminar a los piratas a partir de 2160 el batariano, el Van Rampera fue sorprendido con su fragata Duderino en tierra, pues se había detenido en Alsages para descargar el motor. Cuando el crucero Hyderabad lo sorprendió, Rampera se negó a rendirse. La Duderino fue destruida cuando intentaba despegar y sus restos están diseminados por el hemisferio sur. ¿Sabes qué? Al carajo con los cinturones de asteroides. Montamalca es un gran gigante gaseoso de hidrógeno y helio con restos de cloro y azufre en su atmósfera. Su enorme pozo gravitatorio arrastra muchos asteroides del cinturón exterior. Estos asteroides atraviesan la órbita de Altaya y Daedalus y finalmente quedan alojados en el cinturón interior. La órbita de Montamalca está llena de cientos de lunas capturadas. En la mayoría de los casos apenas pasan unos miles de años antes de que sean expulsadas, se precipiten hacia la atmósfera o acaben hechas pedazos por las fuerzas gravitatorias, en cuyo caso pasan a formar parte de los inmensos anillos del gigante gaseoso. Intentar atravesar este caótico entorno resulta peligroso en el mejor de los casos. Es muy probable que las naves no dotadas de barreras cinéticas de categoría militar sufran impactos catastróficos. Altaya es un mundo terrestre inusualmente grande con una atmósfera residual de metano y amoníaco. Su congelada superficie está formada principalmente por piedra arenisca y otras rocas sedimentarias con depósitos de hierro y cloruros. A juzgar por la composición sedimentaria de la corteza, parece que en su día Altaya tuvo una atmósfera lo bastante densa como para permitir la existencia de algún tipo de líquido. Se desconoce qué cataclismo acabó con su atmósfera y causó la congelación del planeta. Un grupo de pequeños asteroides de silicio que permanecen más o menos unidos por la gravedad. Mientras explorabas el campo de asteroides del sistema Esparta, encontraste señales de que podría estar habitado. Se envió un grupo de reconocimiento para que investigara uno de los asteroides más grandes. La roca tenía un pequeño biodomo en funcionamiento, pero ni rastro de habitantes. Lo que sí encontraron fue una consola de datos con un disco de datos proteano intacto en su interior. Otro más para la colección.
Commander, I'm picking up a signal from the planet's surface. It looks like an automated distress beacon.
Qué raro. Tremar es un planeta enano compuesto de silicatos de magnesio ligeros y con depósitos de aluminio. Su superficie está cubierta por amplias lenguas de antigua lava basáltica negra, lo cual indica que posiblemente este mundo se creó a raíz de un impacto con otro cuerpo del sistema. El campo magnético de Tremanre es inexistente. Esto impide a las naves descargar el motor desde la órbita. No obstante, debe señalarse que la pequeñísima gravedad de Tremanre permite que incluso naves del tamaño de un crucero aterricen directamente en su superficie de forma segura. Daedalus es un planeta terrestre con atmósfera de dióxido de carbono y nitrógeno. Su superficie está cubierta por amplios desiertos de arena de silicato. Solo unas cuantas áreas de roca ígnea se elevan por encima del suelo y cortan los ásperos vientos cargados de polvo. La órbita de Daedalus está cubierta por restos rocosos atraídos por la gravedad del gigante gaseoso Montamalca. Debido a la gran probabilidad de impacto de meteoritos, su exploración es altamente peligrosa. Hay muchos meteoritos del cielo, qué peligro. Dame litio. Y hay otra cosa por acá cerca. Otro depósito de minerales. Mierda. ¿Hay un límite para agarrar esto? ¿O en todos los putos planetas hay muchos? ¿O siguen apareciendo? No sé. No, no son minerales. ¿Qué carajo es? Pasen. Bien. Un fiambre. ¿De qué raza? Recuperada una placa de identificación. Has encontrado la placa de identificación del Capitán Milon. Es imposible saber cómo llegó hasta aquí. ¿Pero qué es esto? ¿Un campo abierto? No me digas que va a aparecer una fauce trilladora. Por favor, no. Sí. Ah. Y se fue. No, viene directamente. Ay. Quédate ahí, quietita. Y ahora se ponen tus mierdas ahí. Sí. No le di. 2 por 1. Uy, mierda. No, no te vayas. A veces me pasa por abajo, no me hace daño, a veces me saca todo, es inconsistente esto. Morí, criatura estúpida. Me dio bastantes créditos. Bueno, bajen. Marín de la Alianza. ¿Cómo llegaste acá?
Alliance soldiers. Looks like they were lured here by the distress beacon.
Qué torpeza.
Looks like these men were under Admiral Kahoku's command. He'd want to know what happened here.
Ah, eran estos. Bueno. Otro motivo para volver al Presidium. Plutón es uno de los numerosos mundos enanos y helados del sistema solar. Su principal interés reside en que es el ancla gravitatoria del relé de masa proteano que lleva al cúmulo Arturo. Plutón y el relé de Caronte, que estaba envuelto en hielo y se consideraba una luna, orbitan uno alrededor del otro. En 2157 la órbita de Plutón pasó a ser circular como efecto secundario de las operaciones de recuperación del relé de masa de Caronte. Aunque Neptuno tiene mucho helio, al igual que Urano, su lejanía hizo que hasta que no se desarrolló el motor de efecto de masa no fuera un objetivo apetecible para la minería. De todas formas, como la explotación en Urano es más barata, la de Neptuno tampoco ha llegado a triunfar. La única presencia humana permanente es una pequeña instalación de investigación en Tritón. Desde la década de 2150, Saturno ha sido una de las principales fuentes de helio 3 para plantas de fusión. Una de sus lunas, Titán, ha sido explotada para extraer hidrocarburos y también se usa como instalación de adiestramiento en entornos hostiles por parte de los marines de la Alianza. El gran pozo gravitatorio de Júpiter, junto con su radiación letal, ha evitado que se realice una explotación adecuada de sus lunas. El puesto de avanzada más grande es la instalación Nautilus de la corporación Binary Helix, que se encuentra anclada bajo la capa de hielo de Europa. Cinturón de asteroides. No hay una mierda. Al principio se consideró a Marte candidato ideal para la terraformación y la colonización, pero el descubrimiento del viaje más rápido de la luz lo ha convertido en un lugar tranquilo y apartado. Su polo sur es un monumento histórico protegido centrado en las ruinas proteanas que se encontraron. La inmigración y el desarrollo están restringidos mientras continúa la búsqueda de artefactos proteanos. Se fueron a Marte a refugiarse. La Tierra. Para obtener información detallada, consultar el Códice Galáctico de la Alianza. La órbita de la Tierra está plagada de restos de desechos generados por la campaña espacial. A partir de los 85 kilómetros de altitud se recomienda usar barreras cinéticas. Qué poca información. ¿Y podemos aterrizar en la Luna? No, espera. Debido a sus altísimas temperaturas, sus nubes de ácido sulfúrico y su atmósfera densísima de dióxido de carbono, Venus solo tiene unos cuantos puestos de avanzada aerostáticos. En los picos de la luz eterna de los polos norte y sur de Mercurio hay varias plantas generadoras de energía solar. Las dificultades que impone la cercanía del planeta al Sol y la gran velocidad orbital han limitado su desarrollo. La Luna fue una de las primeras fuentes de helio 3 y ahora se explota para extraer materiales para la construcción de hábitats espaciales. En sus puntos de Lagrange L4 y L5 se han construido 2 docenas de estaciones importantes, todas gracias a los recursos lunares. Oh, de acá se ve nuestro planeta. ¿Torreta Get? No es posible. Torreta pesada de la Alianza. Ah, son de las nuestras. No. Son de mala calidad. Explotan el contacto. A ver. ¿Qué mierda hago? ¿A cuál vamos primero? Ah, es igual. Cosas. Ahora. Decodificación media. Striker 6. Seguramente no es mejor que lo que ya tengo. Pasen. Katana 7, esa parece interesante. Para vos, Rex. Esas escopetas. Presencia enemiga.
Enemy sighted.
Carajo. Cuidado, Bacarian. Estás muy expuesto. Detrás de ti. Me largo. Retroceden. Estoy mal herido. Por poco. Y no la cuento. Elige la hora. Bueno, podemos guardar el arma. Es como que no lo puedo usar inmediatamente después el Medigel. Tengo que esperar un tiempo para poder usarlo otra vez. Qué cagada. Y lo que me parece que también la cagué es no comprando las mejoras de Medigel que vendían en la Ciudadela. Puerto de datos. ¿Pasa con esto? ¿Puedo interactuar? No. Pero le podemos disparar. Gas tóxico. Y... Bien. Aún quedan más. Del otro lado. ¿No te afecta el veneno a vos, Krogan? ¿Sos inmune a las toxinas? ¿O es por la armadura de mujer que te di? Debe ser por eso. Las luces de los servidores ópticos parpadean y se apagan. El primero de los 3 servidores informáticos que contiene la IB está apagado. Bien, supongo. Abrite. ¿Hay más drones de combate? Parece que sí. Cuidado, imbécil. Ya ves. Uno. Dejen de cruzarse en mi camino. Todavía quedan. esto. Ay, Dios. No, no puedo atravesar eso. Mierda. Listo. Son imbajables estas mierdas. Menos mal que ya estamos bastante leveleados para estas alturas. Me parece que estoy, de hecho, estoy overlevel para esto, pero bueno. Sigue siendo bastante difícil de matar. Esas malditas cosas. Campo de barrera cinética activándose por todo el... Y ahora tenemos que destruir el puto campo de barrera cinética antes de poder dispararle a cualquier cosa. Creo que también estaban en las puertas, si me acuerdo de esto. Rápidamente. Una misión muy de mierda. Pero hay que hacer todo lo que se puede hacer. Todo sirve, todo da experiencia. Y estamos tan cerca de casa. Desde acá puedo sentir el olor a kimchi. Kimchi. Tengo hambre. El segundo de los 3 servidores que contiene la IB está apagado. Qué alivio. Ponerles una granada por ahí. Yo todavía no puse ninguna mejora de granada ahí. Qué idiota. Porque no lo hice. Ah, ya es tarde. Mierda. Lanzan misiles también. Este, el que tiene otro color. Es una variante más fuerte. ¿Y? Absolutamente nada. Todos estos malditos lugares son iguales. ¿Cómo no me había dado cuenta de esto antes? Explota porquería. Drones de seguridad adicional activándose. Sí, necesitábamos más drones, ¿Y se van a activar por cada uno de estos que vaya destruyendo o qué? Entonces aprovecho. Que hay 3. Atraviesa la barrera cinética. Dispara, Bacaria. Con tus mejoras del tungsteno, no sé qué mierda te deja ahí. Le haces más daño a los sintéticos.
I think we're good, Shepard.
Sacan como 10 tiros estas mierdas. Eso es un arma ultra mejorada. Le importa un carajo al juego. Es un arma de espectro que un estallido de ruido blanco en todas las frecuencias está a punto de acabar con tu oído. El visor del traje blindado lo interpreta como una serie de ceros y unos. Se repiten una y otra vez en todas las frecuencias hasta que las luces del último servidor de la IB parpadean y se apagan. Lograda clase de especialización. Tu clase de especialización reemplazará a la clase básica en los talentos de la pantalla pelotón. Los rangos en talento de tu clase básica se pasarán a tu clase de especialización. Ve a la pantalla pelotón para ver las bonificaciones que ganas con cada rango en tu clase de especialización. ¿Qué es esta mierda? Los operativos son maestros en la manipulación del entorno para conseguir la máxima ventaja. Ok, dame esto. Bien. Ahí volvimos.
Equalizing interior pressure with exterior atmosphere. Logged. The commanding officer is ashore. Exo Presley has the deck.
Hacete cargo de todo, Presley. Vicealmirante Mikhailovich. ¿Y este quién es?
Rear Admiral Mihailovic, 5th Fleet.
¿Qué quieres?
Admiral, I'm on urgent business with the Citadel. Is there something you need?
Let's get one thing clear, Shepard. You might be a specter to the aliens, but to me, you're just another junior officer. Be respectful.
El respeto hay que
I
ganárselo.
command the 63rd Scout Flotilla. You in the Normandy was slated for my unit after shakedown. And the Council got their paws, claws, tentacles, whatever. They got them on our ship and you.
A mí tampoco me gusta esto.
I wasn't keen on it either, but there are advantages to being above the law.
Don't let the title go to your head. No one's above the law. I don't
Sí,
begrudge
claro
the
que estoy.
politician's
Por
decision to
encima
throw you to the
tuyo lo
council.
estoy.
It's an opportunity. I
Te
do
miro
begrudge
desde
this
arriba,
over-designed
basura
piece of
humana.
tin, though.
Nadie insulta mi nave.
This ship has
Y
saved
vive
our
para
lives a dozen
contarlo.
times over.
An exaggeration. I've read your reports. This experiment diverted billions from our appropriations bills. For the same price, we could have had a heavy cruiser. But no, we had to make nice to
Sos
the
un
Turians,
anticuado.
throw money at a co-developed boondoggle. I'm here to make an inspection, Commander. Normandy is an Alliance warship. I intend to see she's up to snuff.
No.
Normandy is an Alliance warship, but she's on loan to the Citadel. That means she's not in your chain of command.
I believe there's something wrong with my ears. Did you just contradict me?
Claro que sí.
This ship is council property.
Anda a
right
jugar
now.
al vicealmirante a
So
otro
respectfully,
lado.
please clear the gangway.
Have it your way, Commander. But expect me to file a report on this.
Volve a tu mugre planeta.
Commander Shepard? Khalees had been seen in Al-Jalani, Westerland News. Would you answer a few questions for our viewers?
Largo de aquí.
I'm not in the mood, Miss Al-Jalani.
People back home have heard a lot of wild stories about you, Commander. I can give you the chance to set the record straight. What do you say?
Vete al diablo.
I don't have time to justify myself to your viewers. I have a galaxy to save. Excuse me.
Your choice, Shepard.
Nasana, querida Nasana, tengo algo
I know
tuyo.
you. You're Commander Shepard, the human Spectre. Is there something I can do for you?
Conocí a tu hermana.
You're Nasana, right? I ran into your sister, Dahlia. Didn't end well for her.
What? Are you saying she's...
La maté yo misma, con mis
Dahlia's
propias
dead,
manos.
Nasana. And I know she was blackmailing you.
And I was all set to try to manipulate you into hunting her down for me. But I guess that won't be necessary now, will
Eh.
it?
You wanted your sister dead?
If people found out my sister was a criminal, I'd be considered a security risk. They'd revoke my clearance, or place me on administrative leave until she was apprehended. I shall transfer a little something into your account as a token of my appreciation. I'm sure you'll find the amount satisfactory.
Estos créditos no bastan.
I'm a Spectre, not some merc for hire. I can find credits anywhere.
True, but I'm the only one who can authorize you to purchase prototype Asari mods. I will get you added to our manufacturer's preferred client list. I think you'd be very interested in what they have available. Goodbye, Shepard. It has been a pleasure doing business with you.
El placer fue todo mío.
This is not what Jake would want.
Who are you to tell me what my husband would want?
I'm the only person making sense right now. You're endangering your baby.
This baby is the only thing I have left of Jake.
Hola, ¿qué tal? Interrumpo algo.
I don't care what you think, Michael. It's my decision.
I know you're hurting, Rebecca, but don't let your grief hurt your baby too.
Déjala en paz.
Is this man harassing you, ma'am?
Perhaps you can talk some sense into her.
I don't need anyone to talk sense into me, Michael. I'm not undergoing the treatments.
My sister-in-law here is pregnant, and she's refused to let the baby undergo gene therapy in utero.
¿Por qué?
I thought gene therapy was common.
My husband Jacob died from a rare heart condition several months ago.
There's a chance that the baby could develop the same heart condition, but routine gene therapy can eliminate it.
Qué maravilla.
A very small chance, Michael. And extranet reports say the therapy could harm the child.
It's less dangerous than the genetic enhancements that every soldier in the Alliance receives.
Probabilidad de enfermedad.
What are the chances that your child will develop the heart condition?
According to the doctors, there's a 1 in 50 chance. And if my baby develops the condition, medical treatments are available.
Which are nowhere near as effective as simply getting the gene therapy.
Peligros de la terapia.
What are the chances that gene therapy could hurt the baby?
1 in 300 at most.
But extranet articles say there could still be long-term complications we don't know about. Don't you understand? If my baby is that 1 in 300, I will always wonder if I killed my baby for nothing.
Sigue la terapia.
For what it's worth, I think you should consider undergoing the therapy.
I don't care what you think. Who are you anyway? It's my child. It's my decision.
Piensa en el niño, perra.
You've already lost your husband. Are you gonna let your grief endanger the baby too?
I had to watch Jacob die. I can't risk causing the death of my child as well.
Entonces haz lo más seguro.
Your husband's death wasn't your fault. But if you refuse the therapy, your child's death could be.
Don't you understand? I can't lose this baby. This is all I have left of him.
And you and that baby are all I have left of Jacob. I can't lose you. Either of you. Not after this.
Then why didn't you just say that instead of yelling at me?
Para llamar tu atención.
I was scared. I'm sorry.
If it means that much to you, if you trust that it's the right thing, I'll do the therapy.
Aleluya.
Thank you so much. I guess we needed an outside person to talk some sense into both of us.
¿Y este? Finch.
They told me it was you, but I didn't believe it. Shepard grew up and turned into a soldier.
¿Qué quieres?
An impatient soldier. Who are you and why are you in my way?
Name's Finch. You probably don't remember me, but we ran together in the 10th Street Reds. Maybe you don't remember it yourself, running in a gang. None of the vids mention it when they're talking about you.
Estaba en una banda yo. Olvida los noticiarios.
The vids never tell the whole story. So, what can I do for the Reds?
One of the Reds, Kurt Wiseman, got picked up by Turians. We'd like you to talk to the Turian guard in the bar and get Kurt out.
¿Y motivo del arresto?
What was this guy arrested for?
Some stupid minor offense. Maybe he had a little red sand. You know how the Turians are.
Los rojos consumiendo arena roja, qué raro.
And they're shipping him back for a trial.
Nada de fugas.
You're not asking me to break Wiseman out of jail, are you?
Of course not. But word has it you've got some pull with the aliens. All we're asking you to do is pull a little for us.
En el espacio turiano.
What was one of the 10th Street Reds doing in Turian space?
Since your days, the Reds have expanded. We do some salvage, a little shipping here and there, that kind of thing.
No hay problema.
I'll talk to the Turian and see what I can do.
Thanks, Shepard. I knew you'd remember your old friends. The guard's over in Cora's den. Take care of this, and you'll never see me again.
Qué pena. Eras encantador. ¿Dónde está el turiano? Guardia turiano genérico.
Can I help you?
Deja libre a Kurt Wiseman.
You've got a prisoner named Kurt Wiseman. I'd like that prisoner freed.
I'd like a lot of things, human. Desire forms the foundations of organized society. That said, the xenophobe will remain in Turian custody. This is not negotiable.
Xenófobo. La sentencia de Wiseman.
What sentence is Wiseman likely to receive?
Considering that he attempted to commit a xenophobic hate crime, I would expect him to receive a lifetime imprisonment.
Xenophobia?
Why are you calling him a xenophobe?
The human acknowledged his affiliation with several anti-alien organizations. His crime specifically targeted Turians as a species. It was a hate crime and will be treated as such at his sentencing.
El crimen de Wiseman.
What crime did Wiseman commit?
He attempted to poison medical cargo being sent to a Turian colony to treat an outbreak of a dangerous disease. If he'd succeeded, millions would have died. This human is a dangerous xenophobe.
Yo me encargo de él.
I'd rather not have to kill all your guards to free this man.
Why do you want this criminal released? Is it part of your mission, or are you just helping another
Solamente quiero los puntos de renegado. Obedece mis órdenes.
I'm a Spectre. I don't answer to you. Release Wiseman now.
The Council should have known the humans were not ready for the authority of the Spectres. The prisoner will be released. Turian people at least respect the rule of law.
Bien por ustedes.
One of the Councilor's assistants. Commander, any word on my missing men?
Están muertos.
I found them. Well, what was left of them. They ran into a thresher maw.
A thresher maw? That's not... My men wouldn't just stumble into a thresher nest. Not the entire unit.
Fue una trampa.
Somebody lured them there with an Alliance distress beacon. Placed it perfectly so they'd land right beside the thresher nest.
Damn it. I had a bad feeling about this ever since my team disappeared. An Alliance beacon used as bait, my unit wiped out, and nobody seems to know anything about it. Commander, I appreciate what you did. Now I need to do my part. The families of those Marines deserve to know why they died.
Ese no es mi problema.
I don't have time for this.
You've already done enough, Shepard. The rest is up to me.
Emily Wang.
Hello again, Commander. I've got a proposition for you.
Te escucho.
Since you helped me get information on the crime syndicate, I've gotten a lot more backing from my publishers.
Eso es
I'm
bueno.
investigating traffic controller conditions now, and I wondered if you could help.
¿Qué tipo de ayuda necesitas?
What do you want me to do?
I've heard rumors that the space traffic controllers are overworked to a dangerous degree. I can't get into the control room, but you could. If you planted a bug inside, I could crack the story.
Resultados de la historia.
If you crack this story, what's likely to happen?
Ideally, there will be calls to improve working conditions by hiring more controllers and upgrading systems. The Council won't pay for improvements voluntarily. This story will provide that pressure.
Función de la cámara.
What will this bug allow you to pick up?
Just audio and video. I'm not trying to tap into the traffic control system if that's what you're worried about. I just need to hear and see them in order to correlate their activity with traffic efficiency.
Importancia de la historia.
Everyone knows space traffic controllers are overworked. How is this news?
There's a difference between overworked and dangerous. Traffic at the Citadel has increased by 300% in the last century, but traffic controller resources haven't kept up. We already have several last-minute wave-offs per week. Do we have to wait for a full-blown disaster?
Peligro de la cámara.
This bug you want me to plant, could it interfere with traffic signals?
Absolutely not. I made certain that the frequencies it uses won't interfere with anything.
Lo intentaré.
I can't promise anything, but I'll see what I can do. Give me the bug.
Excellent. Just place it on a terminal with a good view of the area. Thanks again for your help. In the long run, this story is going to save lives.
Qué bien. Hola, ¿qué tal? Nada más vengo a poner una cámara por aquí. No me presten atención. Bueno, volvamos con Emily Wang. Hecho.
I'm already getting readings. This is gonna make a great story. Thank you so much for your help. Here, this is everything I've got from my publisher's budget.
Ha sido la última vez.
I did this as a favor, Ms. Wang. You're on your own now.
Of course, Commander Shepard. I won't trouble you any further. Thanks again for your help. I'm gonna show this to my publisher.